Welcome to our lovely neighborhood. Here we see the homes of the Montreal and Kyoto family. Let's see what's going on at the Montreal household.
Daddy, what's that noise?
And that icky smell.
Oh, that's the car over at the Kyoto family's house. They always just leave it running instead of turning it off. It's some serious. They don't really give a about the price of gas or the dirty air that they're making.
And the Kyoto parents really don't know how to enforce rules. That naughty older brother doesn't even bother listening when they try to set curfew for taking out his motorcycle. And the younger kids seem to listen just fine until they realize their brother isn't behaving. Then the youngsters don't bother following curfew for riding their tricycles either.
Every morning since she was 5, Phoebe Montreal has carefully gotten her hair ready for school. She goes through half a can of hairspray every day. But on this day, instead of her hair being a perfect work of art, there was a bit of a falling out between the hair and the hairspray. Ben Montreal is an artist, and spray paint is his favorite medium.
Golly jeepers.
When Ben Montreal tried to wash his hands after painting today, though, the paint was stubborn. It wouldn't come off.
Look what happened to my hair, my beautiful hair. It's falling out.
Look what the spray paint did to my hands. They're blue.
It must be that they've been using all those aerosols. We don't want our kids to be permanently affected from their use of these CFCs. This isn't good for their health or self-esteem. Plus, those CFCs are bad because they're persistent. They stay in the air for so long. That means even when Phoebe and Ben aren't spraying their aerosols, the chemicals associated with them are in the air around them.
Let's work on finding a solution to mitigate this problem tomorrow in our laboratory.
Not only are we protecting our own children from the effects of those aerosols, we are hoping to protect everyone using hairspray and spray paint, and everyone who might come in contact with the fumes.
It's also great because with the clear science underlying our creation here, we'll make it an even easier switch from the classic CFC aerosols to this new invention. Phoebe, Ben, we have a great surprise for you. These HCFCs are alternatives to the hairsprays and aerosols you've been using.
But Daddy, how do you know?
Let me handle this, sweetie. Phoebe, this is better than your old hairspray for a few reasons. While it works just like the old one, we tested it on my hair and none fell out. It isn't a super expensive alternative, and we identified that these things called chlorofluorocarbons were the major problem, and we found this easy alternative. So please try to use as little of this new hairspray as possible to protect your hair the most, but as long as you stop using the old hairspray, it should completely grow back soon.
Okay, Mom. Those reasons all make sense. Can I go try out my new spray paint now?
Of course! We made it for you to use. If we could only find a solution to the problem of the Kyoto family's pollution.
One problem that makes that situation different, sweetie, is that we knew it was mainly the aerosols causing all our problems here. But with the Kyotos, along with their carelessness and their stubbornness keeping them from changing their habits, they don't have the money to make major changes. And the effects of keeping their car always idling aren't as obvious as that hole in Phoebe's hair or Ben's Smurf hands.
I guess they do have to commute to work, and I suppose we sort of need to forgive them for that.
Darling, and I'm just so frustrated that I can't come up with a good solution.
Well, there are a few reasons this is more difficult. First off, they don't have very well enforced rules with their children. That makes managing things difficult, especially when that darn influential older brother Usa and their cousin Chin-A choosing to behave like petulant 2-year-olds rather than the competent teenagers they really are. They are always complaining that the little ones should have the same rules to follow, but that just isn't right. Usa and Chin-A didn't have stricter rules as children.
Yeah, I guess those issues make it a little bit more difficult. We could see how the CFCs were affecting our loved ones, and we understood that science too. Too bad we can't completely understand what's going on with the Kyotos.